Today we're talking about Module 4, Lesson 12, and this is the last lesson before your mid-module assessment, which is going to be on Friday. So I know tomorrow's Thursday, so we'll spend tomorrow reviewing and doing study guides and things like that. And then on Friday, we'll see what you'll have an opportunity to show off all that you can do that we've learned in 4.1 through 4.12. Okay, and today your learning goal is very similar to what it was yesterday. We're going to use the RDW strategy to both solve and create fraction story problems. Remind me again, what does RDW stand for? Everyone?
Read, draw, write.
Nice. Okay. The first thing we need to do when we read a problem is to underline what the question's asking. So for part A, what is the question asking, Ella?
What fraction of the games did the team win?
Okay, we have to figure out what fractions of the games did the team win. Now, careful, there's a lot of information there. Some of it is important later on, but let's just circle the stuff that's important for this question. So if a baseball team played 32 games altogether and lost 8 of them, is that important? Do we need to know that they played 32 games altogether? Do we need to know that they lost 8 of them? Do we need to know that Katie was the catcher of 5/8 of the winning games and 1/4 of the losing games? No, because part A is only asking us what fraction did they win. We don't care about Katie right now. Okay, so if they played 30, let's draw, the next part is to draw. So let's draw a piece of tape. And what does that piece of tape represent? Yeah, all the games they played, which is how many? 32 games, okay. And if they lost 8, let's mark that off. These are the ones they lost, and these are the ones they won. So let's label that 8. How can we figure out how much they won? How many games they won? Ashwin? Yeah, if I subtract 8 from, if I find the difference of 32 and 8, I can find out how many they won. So what's 32 minus 8? 24. So what does that mean? They won how many games?
24.
So is that the answer, 24 games?
No.
No, because it's asking what fraction of the games. So how many, remember a fraction is a part over the whole. So what part did they win? How many did they win? 24. Out of a total of how many games?
32.
So did they win 24 out of 32 games? Yeah, so that's the fraction, except what's wrong? You got it. How can I tell that 24 over 32 can be simplified? Arhan?
They're both even numbers.
They're both even numbers, so that means I can divide the top by 2 to get 12, and I can divide the bottom by 2 to get 16. Are they still both even?
Yeah.
So I can divide 12 by 2 to get 6, and 16 by 2 to get 8. Are they still both even?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it again. 6 divided by 2 is?
3.
And 8 divided by 2 is?
4.
So my new fraction, what fraction of the games did they win?
3/4.
3/4 of the games. Very good. Now it asks, in how many games did Katie play catcher? So let's go ahead and underline that. Now what important information do we have to figure out, or do we need in order to figure out how many games Katie was catcher for? Anushka?
They played 32 games. Katie was the catcher in 5/8 of the winning games and 1/4 of the losing games.
Okay, so there's 2 different fractions here. There's 5/8 of the winning games, and then also 1/4 of the losing games. So what number of games did they win? 24. So was Katie 5/8 of 24 catchers? She was a catcher for 5/8 of those 24 games, right? So let's write that, 5/8 of 24. And then she was also the catcher for 1/4 of the times that they lost, which is how many times total?
8.
So she was catcher 1/4 of 8 times. So we're going to have to find out what 5/8 of 24 is and add that to 1/4 of 8. Does that make sense? Okay. We've now read and identified the important information. What do we need to do next? Draw. Okay, so how can I draw a tape diagram to show 5/8 of 24? Well, what I can do is I can draw a piece of tape, label it as my whole, which is what? 24. And split it into how many equal sections? 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're trying to find how many of them? 5 of them. So mark off 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And draw your question mark. Okay. Now over here, I can do the same thing. I have a piece of tape, but this time is my whole 24? No, it should be what? 8. And then how many units do I have to split it up into?
4.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want to find one of them. So mark off 1 and draw a question mark. From here, we're ready to write our math. We can either write 8 units equals 24, etc., or we can write it as a multiplication sentence. 5/8 of 24, is that the same as 5/8 times 24?
Yes.
Which is the same as 5 times 24 over 8, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything I can cross out?
Yes.
The 8 and the 24, 1 and 3. So that equals what? 15. Okay, that's how many she pitched for 15 of those, or sorry, she played catcher for 15 of those winning games. How can I find out how many times she played catcher for the losing game? What math equation could I write? Arun?
1/4 of times 8.
Okay.
1 times 8 over 4.
1 times 8 over 4. And I can cross out the 4 and the 8, can't I?
Yeah.
So how many times was she catcher for the losing?
2.
2. So to find out altogether how many times she played catcher, I have to do 15 plus 2, which is
17.
17. And my label should be
Game.
games. Good.